Hey guys, my name is Joe. This is my mukbang. Mukbang? I hate saying it. This is my mukbang, and you're watching Jamily TV. If this is your first time here with us, please consider hitting that subscribe button down that way. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back to watch some more. So today, just gonna have some dry noodles. Just kidding. Today, we're having these noodles. I don't know what it says, but let's get Google Translate out because, as you guys know, Google Translate is really good at this stuff. Detect language, put it in English. Ah, come on, detect language. Oh, it says French, not French. It's having a hard time here. They can't pick up the words. It does Sam Yang. Come on, can you do Sam Yang? Oh, come on, Google. Be better. Well, I have no idea, but it says hot chicken flavor ramen. This is 5 tala from Mackenzie's for a pack. And this is a little used thing in America that we need to learn to use more. Ooh, hot. Dang, look at that. Can you see the steam coming off this thing? So I'm supposed to put this in here and keep it warm. Man. So in America, I never use this thing, but here in Samoa, we use it much more frequently, and it's very useful. Okay, so I'm supposed to let that simmer for 5 minutes. 2 packs of the hot stuff, and then we put these in there. I wonder if Google can do this. Can you do this, Google? I don't know what that is either. This one? Can you do this one? Does that say anything in English? It doesn't look like it does. Maybe it's backwards. Yeah. Anyway, supposed to add these 2 packs of stuff, 2 packs of this stuff, 2 packs of this stuff into this after it's been simmering for like 5 minutes. It says that I'm also supposed to throw away most of this water, but I like soupy ramen. I don't like just noodles and stuff. So while that simmers, let's read you the first story from the newspaper of today, Tuesday, October 6th. So the headline is Theologians Pushing Emergency Rules, and that's FMA. FMA used to be the Deputy Prime Minister. The Assistant Prime Minister, no longer. She resigned because she was part of HRPP and she wasn't loving HRPP, so she resigned, and I think she either created her own or she's joining FAST. I hope that she's joining FAST, which I can't remember what FAST stands for, but I hope that she joins FAST, because then, if she does, then she can kind of coagulate, conjugate? What's the word? Coalesce? I think that's the word. Bring together all the parties. Coalesce? Convalescence? Conviction? Convicts? No. I think it's coalesce. Anyway, she can bring together everyone from these disparate parties and bring them under one, and then that way, that single party would have a chance to beat HRPP, which would be awesome. Okay, so that's the title, Theologians Pushing Emergency Rules, and that's FMA. The next one is Vaiata Prison Transaction, Highly Unusual. Yeah, that's a fun one. We'll talk about that one in a sec. And then this one is the Chief Justice defends his acting appointment choice. And then this one is the mother of this kid is in awe of her son because he pays all 13 of his siblings' school fees by street vending. So not a big fan of street vending. I do like charity. So I don't know. I'm kind of a toss-up on this one, on what the right thing to do is right there. Okay, so how are these noodles? I just want to test a noodle first. I don't like super soft noodles either. Still cardboardy. Let's talk about this story here because it's nice and quick. So we just got a new Chief Justice, Simativa Perese, and he came from New Zealand, I think. I don't know what to think about this guy. He's a new Chief Justice. He's never been a judge before, so that's a little bit of a knock on him, you know, coming over here to be our Chief Justice of Samoa, and he hasn't been in Samoa for like 30 years or something like that. Maybe it's only 20, but it's a long time. He's never been a judge anywhere else, and then he comes over here to become the Chief Judge. A lot of people thought that that was a little bit of a slight against Clarence Vui, and you guys know that I really like Clarence Vui. He was our acting Chief Justice when our previous Chief Justice retired. The little bit of a controversy here is that this guy, he got sick and he went into the hospital over the weekend, last weekend, and he was there for the weekend, and then on Monday, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, he got onto a flight to, I think it was New Zealand, and went back so that he could get treatment. And when he left, he said that I'm appointing Mata Kelly Tuatangaloa. According to the Constitution, this is what the Constitution says. This is Article 70 of the Constitution. There's a little bit of room for interpretation, I guess. I feel like that's kind of just trying to skirt the rules a little bit, which, you know, you're a judge, not really supposed to skirt the rules. Article 70 of the Constitution of Samoa states, quote, "The senior judge of the Supreme Court shall have authority to act as chief judge." Well, the senior judge of the court would be Clarence Vui, so he should have been the Chief Justice. But then when HRPP brought in this guy to become the Chief Justice, then maybe things changed a little bit. But anyway, so when he left to go back for treatment, he technically, according to Article 70, should have appointed Justice Vui as the acting Chief Justice while he's gone, but he didn't, because Justice Vui was appointed to the Supreme Court in 2006, and Justice Tuatangaloa was appointed in 2015. And then this is what his argument was. He said, "As you may know, the Constitution does not define what is meant by the term, quote, the senior judge of the Supreme Court." I guess so, but I mean, do you really need a definition to define the senior judge of the Supreme Court? How could one define the senior judge of the Supreme Court to be the junior judge of the Supreme Court? I guess only in law can you not understand when it says senior that it means the longest serving, right? I don't know. Anyway, so that's the controversy there. Okay, let's taste the noodles. So, I mean, not a big controversy, just something of note. Still needs to sit and simmer for a little bit. Anyway, hopefully they get that sorted. Not a real big deal, I guess. Just politics. Hey, Andrew. Just kidding. Don't put that in there. Okay, this one's a juicy one. Vaia'ata prison, highly unusual. The reason is because the Vaia'ata prison in Savaii, it's $800,000. That's how much the cost of the prison is going to be. Right there, talks about $800,000. So the prison is going to cost $800,000, but then they never put it up for tender, which, okay, don't put it up for tender, kind of funny. And one of the ministers, his name is Olo, and I really like Olo. He's kind of a contrarian guy. We talked about this before. He brought it up and he's like, hey, so we didn't bring this up to tender, so is it just the people who did the newest prison? The guy who did that, he's like, nah, wasn't me. And so then they dig a little bit further and they find out the Minister of Police and Prisons, Tialavea Tianisio Hunt, he said that there is no private party that's doing it. It's going to be the prisoners who build the prison because the labor is cheaper, and they have, you know, a lot of the prisoners, I guess, are tradesmen and stuff, and so they're qualified to build the prison. And like basically everyone is saying, what? Doesn't make any sense. Including the guy in this story is the former chairman of the Samoa International Finance Authority, Tuatangaloa Alfred Schwalger, also Olo Fiti Va'ai and Fuamoina Wayne Fong. They're the ones who originally raised the questions. The real question is, like, it's $800,000, and according to the Constitution, anything that's over $500,000 needs to be publicly tendered so that people can bid for it. But what they're saying is, well, we're just going to have the prisoners build it. Converse to that is, well, what happens if the prisoners, like, number one, build escape routes, because prisons aren't known for their security here in Samoa anyway, number one. And then number two, what about like liabilities and stuff? What if they build it wrong and, you know, insurance isn't going to cover it because these guys are prisoners? They're not supposed to be, I mean, maybe they can help, but they need to be supervised by like an actual company that builds prisons. Anyway, it's 800 grand. I don't know who that money's going to, but that's the controversy there. Noodle check. Okay. All right, they're getting nice. Let's dump some of this out. The rain's coming. Ugh. So we dumped out some of the water. So that basically, I guess, we can concentrate the heat. Supposedly, this is not the hottest that we have here in Samoa. Supposedly, this is the second hottest that we have here. Oh, dang it, I touched it to my fingers. Hey. Oh, doesn't smell that hot. I wonder if it's like hot, like sriracha hot, which will be kind of embarrassing that it's not really that hot. I feel like I can handle pretty hot stuff. So we will see if that applies to this or if I'm wrong. Man, I guess maybe with all these hot packets, I'm gonna touch my eye. I know it. I'm gonna touch my eye on accident, and then I'm gonna, dang it. So it's kind of a sticky substance. Maybe there's a little bit of sweet in there, which would be awesome. Or maybe it's just like straight up hot oil or something. I don't know what these are. This is little like spices, I guess. I think the heat came from that other stuff. Man, you don't make these packets like opening friendly. Bunch of sesame seeds in that one. Let's see. So this is just like a bunch of sesame seeds and nori maybe. Maybe I'm supposed to put that on top after I mix it all in. I don't know. Oh boy. I'm telling you, it doesn't smell like it's that hot. If you already know the outcome and you're like, man, that's not even hot. My kids' chicken nuggets from McDonald's are hotter than that. I don't think so though, because now I'm starting to smell it. There is this hotter packet and I wanted to try it, but I wanted to try this one first. We'll try this one and then we'll go with the hotter one in a little bit. Man, my fingers. I am worried now. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Okay, we'll just let it sit in there and kind of gather those juices while we talk about this next article. So we go through all the juicy stuff first, right? The stuff that's like, man, why are they doing that? And then we'll get to the happy stuff at the end, because there are a couple cool articles in here. So this one, we still have coronavirus restrictions in Samoa, even though we don't have any coronavirus, nor have we ever had any coronavirus cases in Samoa. A hint, that's what FMA is talking about. Sunday business restrictions to remain directly from the PM. He has this weekly radio show, which is kind of cool. I appreciate that. It's on 2AP. I don't listen to the radio show because it's all in Samoan, and obviously the kingdom still doesn't speak Samoan. Man, this stuff is gonna burn my face off. It got juice all over my newspaper. He says the whole purpose of this, the restrictions from people going to the stores and stuff, the whole purpose, quote, is to have a good break. 6 days and a quarter day, because on Sundays, these little stores in the villages and whatever, if you can't walk into the store, but you can buy it over the counter, which is a common thing here in Samoa, there's these little tiny shops. They're probably, some of them are as small as like 2 meters deep by 3 meters wide, so really small, and they just have a counter and you walk up and you're like, oh, can I have some saimingi? Or can I have some can of ilengi, so like tinned fish, which in American Samoa they call it pilikaki. I didn't realize that pilikaki was just an American Samoa thing, but yeah, here they call it ilengi, and over there they call it pilikaki. Same thing. Any kind of fish that comes in a can, same thing. Oh, except for tuna. They call that, oh, I guess maybe they just call it tuna, or maybe it's ia. I think they just call it tuna. I don't know. Anyway, so what he's saying is that we have 6 1/4 days that you can buy stuff. The other 3/4 day, just use that to worship the Lord. I can understand that. I appreciate that. You know, I'm a really religious guy. I also am not a fan of communism, and when you force people to do stuff, that's communism. But anyway, he says some good stuff here. Some die early at the age of 40, and if we keep earning and saving and we end up dying, who will use those money? Thus, by the way, he did say those money, according to the paper. Thus, it's also important to look for your fare to heaven, and only people who go to church understand these things. Those who have their lives revolved around money do not understand these reasons. And so he's saying that, you know, just take 3/4 of the day and spend that time worshiping the Lord, and don't spend that time shopping. And I mean, I can understand that. But he also has restrictions on beaches, and he has restrictions on the boats going back and forth on Sundays. There are no boats going back and forth on Sundays. There's no swimming on Sundays at the beaches, but you can swim in a pool on a Sunday. So the problem with these restrictions, I can myself make that decision that I and my family aren't going to swim on Sundays, regardless if it's a pool or a beach. We're not going to swim on Sundays because we feel like, you know, Sunday is a day that we can spend time worshiping Jesus and thinking about Heavenly Father and stuff. But that's a personal choice. I don't think that the government should restrict what one does on a Sunday, most especially because, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of heat for that, but I mean, it's about choices, right? Jesus wants you to have choices. If you don't have the choice, then did you really make a choice? Are you really being righteous because you're not swimming on Sunday, even though that wasn't really your choice to make regardless? You know, I think that Jesus says, no, that's not making a choice. That's not choosing the right. That's not making a choice. And then we also have families in Savai'i. Everyone has family in Savai'i, and yet the boats aren't open on Sunday. So if you want to go to Savai'i, you basically have to leave on Friday. You have to leave from work early because the last boat leaving from here, I think, is 4 o'clock. And so you have to leave work early because work doesn't get done till 5, and you got to get all the way over to the wharf, which is almost an hour away. So you probably have to leave work at like 3, maybe
2:30 to get over to the wharf on time, and then rush over there, and then you got to catch the 4 o'clock ferry from Savaii back here on Saturday, because there's no boat on Sunday, and the earliest boat on Monday is at 6 a.m. And I think the earliest boat on Monday at 6 a.m., I think that's the small boat. So if it's raining, you're gonna be all wet on your way back here to get to work and stuff. Anyway, it's just an unfortunate thing. You guys all know that I don't appreciate or agree with these restrictions because number one, we don't have coronavirus. But number two, we're also hurting our local economy. These small beach fallets and stuff, they can't survive. You know, even if I don't want to swim, even if I just want to go to the beach folly, I can't go to the beach folly because they're closed because lots of other people want to swim and they can't. Lots of beach follies are really struggling right now to make ends meet, just like I guess all of Samoa. So I think this has been sitting long enough. It looks like spaghetti, huh? Like that Woody's spaghetti, but it is not. It is fire spaghetti. All right, well, should I take a small bite or a big bite? I think I'm just gonna go for it and come what may. Oh, this is stupid. You're an idiot. Mmm. Dang it. Ooh. Yeah, that's hot. It's not unbearably hot, but that is hot. Holy cow. Oh. Ooh. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this bowl. That is hot. Wow. That stuff where the oil is like on there. Ooh. I'm gonna be tasting this stuff for days. It's gonna be seared into my beard. I won't be able to wash it off because it's straight out oil. Okay, how hot is this? If you have sriracha sauce, you know how sometimes you're like, whew. Sometimes you're like, oh, I just put too much on there. Like if you have a cup of rice, oh, my lips are on fire. Yeah, look at all that oil on there, all that orange stuff. Yeah. So if you put too much sriracha on your food, double the sriracha that you normally would put on your food, that's how hot this one is. And supposedly the other Samoan that's hot is double hot of this. So I can't even, I mean, we'll try that sometime, but oh. I'm glad I have my glasses on because then it kind of protects from getting this stuff in my eye. Oh, man, I feel like I feel like I can breathe fire out of my face now. You know, the taste though, the taste is actually pretty good. Oh man, this is easy. I'm almost done with this bowl. You see my glasses are fogging up a little bit. It's actually most hot on my lips. Sometimes when you eat hot stuff, really hot in the back of your throat or, you know, as it's going down your chest or maybe even in your belly. This one is just, it's on my lips. Ugh. Man, now I'm settling into it. This is, I mean, it's hot, but it's not. Oh, my lip. Look at these things. Oh, I do like big bites of spaghetti. Big bites of Samoan. There's a tear right there. Oh. Whew. All right. Now that I have a bearing on how hot the other one is, I can do it. No doubt about it. Oh, man, I do love Samoan though. Did you really eat Samoan if you don't finish the juice? Oh. Ooh, yeah, that's where the fire is. Oh, that one got me right there. Oh. It's weird. Tasting this water. Can't taste sweet. Maybe this jar was a jar of jelly or something. Alright, I am willing to concede that I can't finish this juice right now. Let's get back to that. Oh, okay, so that's what the Prime Minister said. Back to FMA.
Did you hear that?
She said, in an interview with the Samoa Observer, the member of parliament for Lotofanga said she thinks the cabinet has been holding discussions more like theologians than members of parliament, and that makes her uncomfortable. Quote, I am a Christian, but I certainly have a level of discomfort when faith is brought in as a political factor. I mean, I disagree with that. I think faith kind of leads you, right? The Constitution of the United States of America was founded, America was founded specifically. My eyes are burning fire. That's why the glasses are, That's why America was founded, was because, and the Constitution was written, was because we're looking for religious freedom. I mean, that's the whole thing. Ugh, that is hot. That's the whole point of religious freedom, is not to be oppressed by religion and to be free to worship how you want to, right? So I disagree with her on that it shouldn't be brought in as a political factor. I think that's one of the big things that we as Americans kind of get messed up a little bit, you know, a separation from church and state. It's not that religion shouldn't be brought into politics, is that politics shouldn't be governed by religion. She does make some good points though. One discussion around the cabinet table revolved around gratitude to God. It was sort of like we're doing this because God has saved Samoa from COVID-19. So we should show our appreciation and keep the Sabbath sacred. And then Fiame continues, my response to that is this the only time God has saved Samoa? Did we not know that God looks after Samoa before COVID-19? Samoa Observer says, among the restrictions is a suite of rules that limits activities on Sundays, including banning all businesses, bars, supermarkets, and shops. Restaurants and hotels from operating with limits on their hours of operation. Restaurants are not allowed to serve guests on site, and they must sell takeaways. So it's kind of like, to me, it's like picking and choosing, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, you can't be open on Sundays, except from 3 until 6 p.m. But bars can't serve liquor on Sundays. Okay, there's a lot of places that are like that. You can't swim in the ocean, you can't swim in a river, you can swim in a pool. They're just little silly things like that. So I think what Fiame is saying is like, let's realize and understand the problems that are coming about as far as our economy is concerned, specifically because of these restrictions. So if we remove these restrictions, the economy can work more freely. I would argue that there is money in Samoa that can be dispersed to the people who need it most if we let the boats go on Sundays, so that those families who are in Savaii and need to come over here, they can on a boat, or the families who are here can go over to Savaii and then come back on a Sunday so that they can go back to work on Monday. I mean, even if you only had like just one boat or something, limit the number of boats, something like that, and then remove the restrictions on swimming. I mean, it's a personal choice for you to decide that swimming on Sunday is not okay. You know, when other people are like, well, you know, I work 6 days a week because my business is struggling, and so my family only gets Sunday to go hang out. So, I mean, I don't know. It's the Lord doesn't make these restrictions, right, on keeping the Sabbath day holy. That's a personal choice and should remain a personal choice. So that's all I'm saying. Let's talk about the good thing. There was a couple good things. Number one is the mother who's proud of her son for paying his 13 siblings way by street vending, which is awesome that he's willing to do that for his family. But, you know, the fact that he's 16 years old and he has been street vending for 8 years, foregoing a lot of his education, I do have a problem with that. I mean, there's 13 siblings, and then there's the mom and the dad, and then there's other family, you know, uncles and aunties. I appreciate that 16-year-old putting forth the effort. His name is Suliveta Slade. His mom's name is Salome Paulo, and they're from the village of Leone. Really proud of you for working so hard to help your siblings. I wish that there was another way and that you weren't forced to work that hard when you were 8 years old. Being 16 years old now, you're able to make your own decisions, I guess. This one was cool. This is Dora Rossi. Dora Rossi is one of the chefs over, she's from the Rossi family who owns Paddles and Milani's Cafe. She lost her children's father 10 months ago to a rare form of cancer, and at that moment, she decided that she was going to change her diet. There's a lot of problems in not only Samoa, but across the world with dietary issues. And obviously, I'm not excluding myself in that. You guys see the amount of food that I eat sometimes, and definitely can take some pointers from this lady. She was speaking ahead of the Pacific Island Food Revolution TV show, where the first episode was at Paddles, and the guest over there was Fiame. Dora said, I think one of the problems we were really tackling is that unhealthy food products are really cheap, and cheaper than our whole foods sold at the market. In saying that, people need to make conscious choices to start looking after their health. I truly believe that health is wealth, and I think that that's one of the big things, is that, you know, we as Samoans were prone to, you know, diabetes, and I think a lot of that comes from, you know, eating Americans' food, you know, eating processed foods and stuff. I'm not just Americans, but processed foods in general. Enjoying McDonald's instead of enjoying the traditional saka or fa'alifukalo or pausami, luau, fa'ailengi, fa'aia, the green bananas. I can't remember what you call that. I don't think you call it fa'imea maka.
I don't know what you call it, but the green bananas in the pe'e. She made her own choice. She first got rid of red meat, then she got rid of all meat, all dairy, and all eggs, and processed food. So right now she only eats whole plant-based food, so she's just a 100% total vegan, and that's been a great change for her. So kudos to you, Dora. Good job. Okay, so that's it for that news, but I wanted to bring up another thing. So we have this video that's coming out. Lale and Talafulu, they are our biggest patrons on patreon.com. Here's the patreon.com website that we have. Lale and Talafulu are our biggest contributors to our Patreon page. What they did, we've mentioned this before, but you can buy stuff on ibuypacific.com and say that you want us to deliver it to a family, and we will deliver it to a random needy family in Samoa. So what Lale and Talafulu did was they ordered $250 worth of groceries. They messaged us and said, hey, we would like you to deliver this to a needy family, or I work in counseling, and so maybe you can deliver to SVSG, which is Samoa Victims Support Group. Those are victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, rape, all that kind of stuff. And we're like, yeah, let's do it. We'll deliver to SVSG. So we went and picked up the groceries, and then when we went to go pick up the groceries, we said, we're gonna match this donation. So we just bought 2 of everything. Whatever there was that was on the grocery list, we just bought double everything that they did. So then it was 500 tala that we were taking over to SVSG. Anyway, there's a video that's coming in the next couple days highlighting that donation. And showing you guys how you can donate to SVSG or other needy families here in Samoa. Because I know that maybe a lot of you guys don't even know your own families. So if you just want to help out some random family in Samoa, go to ibuypacific.com, buy the stuff. In the recipient name, just put Jamily TV needy donation, and then we will deliver that to a needy family, and we'll document it for you so that you can actually see that we didn't just keep the food for ourselves. We're delivering it to people. We might not make a whole video of it, but we'll at least make some Instagram stories about it and stuff, because the more we can put that out there, the more people donate, the more local families are taken care of. Here's the names of all of our people on Patreon right now. Angalele Tausonga, Krista Nuusila, Jubes and Chris, Tara Sanga, Big Papa, Ross Kirkpatrick, Rose, Margaret Matafeo, thank you Margaret, Poau and Ali Itasi Nove, Johnny Samoa, my own brother. Thanks, brother. Muilicious Muis, Taulangi Meritiana Eti, Matafa'a Moana, Ruth Tupuola, James Winiger. Whoa, thanks, James. I really appreciate it. Actually met James, and he is one of the presidents of Robert Louis Stevenson Museum. So that's really cool. Thanks, James, for supporting us this way. Carol Tufanga, Mary and Jim Swanger. They're 2 of our favorite people in the whole world, and I hope they enjoy a nice burger from Burgerville today. Michael Vaiutu, thank you, uncle or cousin. I'm not sure. I think you're my uncle. Anthony Letalu, Tia Vailele, Tipasa Samatua, Lillian Balalavsky. Lillian, I really appreciate your comments. You always have such sweet comments. Thank you. Ava Phillips, Caroline Faletongo, Fao Nael Ofuia, and then Lale and Talafulu, you guys know. And then our first original OG patron subscriber, Lee and Val. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to all of you guys. You know, like I said, you don't need to sign up for Patreon. It helps us to be able to give money back to the people. And you'll see a little bit of that in the next video. All right, my face is burned off sufficiently. I'm gonna try and drink some more of this. Wow. Damn. I can do it.